up, YouTube? Topaz Jake's back for another review, and this one's to that Dreamville, that 1-888-88 Dreams. And at first, I wanted to give this one the red light because clearly these songs are not that strong. But then I realized that I'm more getting caught up in the hype here because these songs aren't garbage. You feel me? There are elements in both of them that's actually I really needed to stop being focused on the hype of the Revenge of the Dreamers 3 that they got jumping, man. Because to be real with you, what have the Return of the Dreamers projects actually done? Like, how many songs off of those first two can you actually remember? As I do have a few of the songs from both of those projects that's stashed away in my playlist and all of that stuff that I hardly ever play. I really can't even remember what they sound like or like that. That's how unimpressive it's actually been. So with all the hype that's around it and its undeserved hype, it really affected me for a bit to want to be a little more critical on this than what it actually deserves. But at the end of the day, these guys haven't done anything, so you can't judge them based off of the hype that people are assuming that this project's gonna be dope when they haven't released a dope project yet. But let's go ahead and break down both of these songs, starting with the first track, obviously, that Down Bad, where the basic concept to this one is, you know, I started from nothing, now I'm here. Started from the bottom, now I'm here. Or like, back then didn't want me, now I'm hot, now they all on me type stuff. Like the type of song that everyone creates in the rap game. And they did it to a prototypical old school like hip hop feel beat. But in my opinion, that production really is lacking because it's super generic. You feel me? But that's something that you should come to expect from collaboration tracks where you're going to have up to 3 to 4 people on the joints, man. Like, you need to have something so generic that everybody can hop on it, like everybody's style can honestly work with it. But at the end of the day, I feel as though when you go in that direction, you limit everything. But maybe my favorite part is when I analyzed the lyrics and saw the directions that everybody was going, and they was going in different directions but did it pretty decently, except for Young Nudie, who came in first, and he had a super brief verse where he said next to nothing except for like, yo, I'ma chop you up like some sushi, with not a great punchline. And honestly, I feel as though it was a smart move for them to limit this individual to such a verse, because he just clearly didn't have the skill set to be having a full verse on this joint. But let's look at Jid. Jid is focusing heavily in his schemes on his wordplay, you dig? And he's saying it with bars like, say, the Board of Education. I was bored of education, where Board of Education versus the Brown was the end of segregation. But then he twists that into, I was literally bored of going to school. Like, that was pretty cool. Or how he said that he covered Fader before he had to fade a dude at the Fort Fader. Well, that was pretty slick because, okay, Fader is a magazine, and then fading an individual is knocking them out in a fight, and then this Fort Fader seems to be a place. And then Baz came in after that, man, where he's more focused on his vocabulary, on how he's saying his raps is coming in clearer than Active View 2, and everybody is hacking the Shack because they ain't got the juice. But they dropping the ball like they on Shacked in the Fool with activist drool, and I like that because the vocab, and there's levels to this bar right here, you dig, where he's doing the whole Shaq in the Fool, which that's a show that Shaq does within the show on that Inside the NBA. But also Hacker Shaq was a style that people used back in the playoff era when Shaq was completely dominant, but he couldn't shoot free throws to save his life. And then he ends off that ball pretty much talking about activists, the actual drink that people use to get high, but rhyme that with AccuView 2, where that's a brand of contacts and stuff. Like, there's a lot of layers within that, and these are words that are not typically rhymed on by most MCs and stuff, you did. Like, definitely enjoyed that. The most entertaining part of that verse was actually his flow on how he's rhyming with the drops of the beat, and he's doing it flawlessly. Then you got J. Cole, who focuses more on just punchline bars. Like when he said, yo, we came up from absolutely nothing, like the Big Bang Theory, where that's the theory of all existence came about because of a Big Bang that created the entire universe and stuff. Started from nothing before, then the bang happened and everything came after. Drawing comparisons to the life of an individual, sticking to the concept and such, man. Like, definitely enjoyed that. But honestly, that was the only super dope ball that J. Cole delivered here. He did have like a little few references, like how he's referencing Game of Thrones, saying, "All hail King Cole. First of his name, long may he reign. The boy got the throne, but it's not a game." Like, clearly a Game of Thrones reference that he's drawing here, but not a phenomenal bar. Overall, this song was decent at best, simply because each individual lyricist went in a separate direction of a focus. And you can kind of see why, like, J. Cole wanted all of these individuals together for this particular track, because they were going to do this. But yet, could you say that it was a dope song? Not really. Starting from the production, and these bars wasn't the best bars possible. It was cool though. And the next song, Got Me, is a female-friendly driven single that they were specifically driving home on this, with Ty Dolla $ign on it, man. Where the basic concept here is talking about how you got your significant other, no matter what happens, you are there for them. Where Omen actually has some pretty cool bars up in here, man. Where he's saying, you know, like, the bottom of her shoes make me thinking that she's Pyru. That's the red bottom, as Pyru is the blood gang. And how he said that he's a nice guy because, you know, nice guys finish last. And, you know, that's a commonly used saying that people use for, like, nice guys never get women and such. But yet he's portraying it in a different flip, where he's saying, you know, nice guys finish last sexually. Like, that was a nice play on that, you dig? And then Dreezy, she actually is pretty solid with what she's saying. They're not particularly bars, it's more poetic. But yet, what she's saying poetically is actually real talk and solid stuff. Like how she said that she ran into the wrong dudes with the right intentions. It's like therapy, how you know how to talk, but yet you also know when to listen. And your love for me don't change, no matter if it's natural or extensions, as she's talking about her hair and how she changes her hair, but yet the love for her is not gonna change. Like, super poetic. Definitely love the way she spit it, but are we gonna say that these are dope punchlines or anything like that? No, but yet she does what she needs to do to capture the attention here. Like, I actually did like her verse. But yet this song is just like the first one, where the verses do carry the track, and the production is better than the first track, but yet it's not a phenomenal production either. That hook is not that good either. Like, honestly, I feel as though the hook dries out this entire track and weighs it down. It could have been much better. Overall, these two songs both have positives and negative attributes to them, which cancel each other out, making both of the songs just eh. And this is what happens when you have collaboration full projects, you dig? This is why you hardly ever come across a super dope one, even when you got people like DJ Khaled seeking out massive amounts of great artists to make one full project and stuff. And this being a record label doing all but the same thing, it's just all in-house, you're going to realize that this not all going to be on the same accord. There's going to be positives and negatives on every song. So there could barely not be one great song out of the entire bunch that's coming up off of this. So it's diminishing my actual excitement for this project. Not that I was all that excited for it in the beginning, because clearly from the first two, it hasn't been a good experience from this point on. But we're going to see. Still, go ahead and peep these if you haven't. Just don't expect too much. I hope you enjoyed the show. You can follow me at Twitter up there. And you can go to downloadpads.com, that's down there, to read today's article.